How are you doing, my good people? I hope every one of you had a great Christmas yesterday, and I hope you have a great New Year coming up. Um, but to be honest with you, I have some splaining to do. Something happened last night, something incredible, and my family and myself uh, had a Christmas night that we will never forget. Coming up next, you're going to find out the reason why. And yeah, so stick around. This was a Christmas night we'll never forget in upstate New York. So this is when I first come out of my daughter's house in Utica. I zoom in here and it's moving left and I'm trying to keep up with it. And it comes back into the picture, slides back in, a little bit of a zoom, and then I'm trying to keep up with it again. And then it just disappears fast. Watch this. And I'll slow it down for you here. You're going to see it come over toward the view again. It's kind of going to make a right turn down and then take off. Right there. So what we have coming up next here is this plasma looking craft, and you can see Starlink there also. A lot of people in the Utica Rome area Christmas night were looking at this Starlink train going by. So, and people were catching all kinds of things. This is what my girlfriend and her daughter caught coming back from Rome, New York to Utica, New York, to cut through Utica to go to their final destination. And a lot of other people were out going back home from visiting family or friends. And here's another view of this plasma looking, I'm going to call it a UAP. You can clearly see there's lines. I count 4 on the right side, 4 on the left. I would imagine if they took this picture from the left side, it might look like the same as it does as you see here on the right. But from this angle, it looks smaller on the left. But I zoom in here, and just to get a better look at this thing, it really had a large plasma look to it, very bright green, and it was moving slowly at the time, according to what they said to me, and then hovering, and then moving again, and then hovering. So I'm going to start modifying this a little more so we can get a better perspective. And here I put it into a almost a black and white type of configuration. It's not going to come out black and white, the craft or object or UAP itself, but kind of looks purple there. Close up of that same thing, not heavily modified, but modified. This is just a close up. You can kind of see some apparatus in the front, and then just like a tilt down of wings on the side, or whatever you want to call them. So next we have this, what everybody's going to look at or see at first is what appears to be like a tic-tac video, and it very well can be. But if you notice, as we move on through this photo, we're going to go on to the next part of it and zoom in, and you can see there, you start to see some kind of 2 like round objects, and to me it looks like the back of something, like a back of a craft, but it could very well be the side of one. But if that's the back of a craft, it's longer than that if you're looking away. So now we're going to go ahead and look at it from another modified version that I put together. And this one, again, this is on Route 49 going from Rome, New York to Utica, New York exit, and they pull over and take that shot, and I modified it, and here you can see I brought it out. You can see those 2 things, what I think is the back of something, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. This could be the side, but they appear to be round and have some kind of function. And yeah, I mean, this is interesting. Everybody was looking up last night, And I had no idea. I was at my daughter's house at the time, and again, I showed you that video in the beginning where as soon as they told me what they were experiencing, I went out and took that video and actually caught that thing that we saw briefly and then quickly move away. So now we're going to move on to the next thing that they caught on the way home. Or actually, this is from the news station in the Utica area, WKTV, a viewer on their Facebook page. On WKTV's Facebook page, she put up this video that she caught with her phone, and this thing is really odd. She has a partial zoom on this, and it's got all these colors on here, and we're going to go zoom in on this particular picture that we obtained from more activity from other people in the Utica Rome area, and courtesy of our local TV station. And we zoom in on this, and you can see there's layers here. You have kind of like a blue turquoise layer, then a yellow to a dark orange and red, and then what appears to be like a brown color. And this is pretty much the heaviest zoom I think that I could do. So imagine seeing that. And remember, this person that took this photo, they were looking at the Starlink train, and then they saw something off to either their right or left. They didn't specify, and they zoomed in on this. So a lot of activity around that satellite train from Starlink. Very interesting. I mean, this is a Christmas I'll never forget. And then I'm going to show you one of the biggest objects that was caught, again, by my girlfriend and her daughter on their way home. And this is already zoomed in, and I already modified it. This was apparently 5,000 to 7,000 feet off the ground. And then I do a zoom here. You can see some purple outline in the front. You can kind of see the 90-degree angles a little bit. But I wanted to get a better view of the back of it, even though to me, and probably to you, it looks like that's the elongated part of the craft we're looking at. We're looking at the full side view, I believe, of whatever this UAP is. So we're going to go ahead and I do another modification to see if I can bring anything else out, and I just kind of see more of that purple, but I do notice there's a little orange on the bottom of this. Now remember, this is no more than 10,000 feet off the ground. So when she was on the phone with me, they were really excited, and they were just going on about how they were seeing this, and then they got to another exit and saw another one. This one's a very, very heavily modified version that I put together. And in this version, you're going to see probably a better view of the back of this thing, the best we can see. I'm going to zoom in here so that we can have a look at this thing more close up, so that you can see what I'm talking about when I'm speaking of the rear of this possible UAP vehicle, or whatever you call it. So here we go on a zoom, and there's your, what I think is the backside of it, with a little slit there of some kind, and a very excellent view of the 90-degree angles and some kind of activity around the craft itself. So I don't know, guys, this was very, very crazy last night. It was something that I was not intending on experiencing. Again, this wasn't my personal experience, but while they were experiencing this, I was recording the video you saw at the beginning of this one. So yeah, this was around 7:05, and this is incredible stuff. I mean, I'm not seeing a drone here, and they said it was very large. So, and I have the original picture. I didn't put it on here. I should have, but I didn't. And you probably would have gauged the same thing that I was, maybe 5, 7, 10,000 feet from the ground. And again, This was at near the Utica exit on Route 49, and at this point they're pulled over again for this one, and apparently there were other cars pulled over, and which is what made them stop a second time. And they noticed another gentleman taking photographs and taking videos of this same object. And yeah, things are getting weird up here. So I can officially say Utica Rome area is now seeing UAPs or drones or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, that's all I have for this part of the personal segment of our personal Christmas night adventure. So thanks for watching this, because I wanted everyone to know what we experienced last night. And apparently, according to our news station, a lot of other people, which started out with a satellite train from Starlink. So once again, activity is active. And if you're not sure what the Utica Rome metro area is, Utica Rome is between Syracuse and Albany, New York, and upstate New York. It's between Albany and Syracuse. So yep. So we're going to go back to the other side of this video. My girlfriend and her daughter, myself, my daughter, my grandchildren, none of us were expecting any of this to happen on Christmas night. I mean, yeah, I would have expected to see a Starlink train going by, because that's pretty common. But that was a personal experience for all of us. Obviously, we found out later on that there were a lot more people, because of one of our local TV stations on their Facebook page, and there were an incredible amount of people on that Facebook page talking about what they saw last night, while at the time we're thinking we're the only ones looking at these things. On one side, you had my partner and her daughter traveling back from Rome, New York, to cut through Utica, New York, to go to their final destination, and pulling over at least 2 times to take pictures and photos. And the second time, obviously, because they saw other people on the side of the road, particularly one gentleman at first, looking up at the sky with his camera phone, or his phone camera. And then I get a phone call, and very hyped up, very excited, and I cannot blame them. And they're like, we're going to send it to you right away, and you need to go outside. And I'm at my daughter's house, and I run outside, and I'm looking, and I see stars. I'm not seeing anything. But then I start to see this white object. Obviously, you just saw it. And I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm literally with my camera, and I'm trying to follow it, and it keeps going left on me. And it goes left, and it like kind of goes fast, and then slow. And then you can see it's just a small clip, but it jumps back into the picture. And it looks like it disappears and comes back really fast, instantaneously, and then drops down and just takes off or disappears. Either that, or there was a second object that just showed itself. So, but to me it looked like it dropped down and just started moving around erratically and then took off. But yeah, I definitely got a close-up of that one, and I would have never taken that photo or video if it wasn't from that phone call that came through. And I can literally hear them both talking about it, and it was an experience that we'll never forget. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said in the short little clip there that you saw, the Utica Rome area in upstate New York is now experiencing more UAP activity. I haven't seen any, especially during the time of being on the YouTube platform, usually showing everyone else's stuff or what people send me. And but this was a Christmas night I'll definitely will never forget. It was nice to see the satellite Starlink train going by, because we don't see it very, very often. But it was nice to see that. But it was kind of like, almost like it came by at the exact right time, because all these people started looking up, and then they started noticing these other things. So definitely a very interesting Christmas for my family and myself. Personally witnessing whatever it is that I saw. Let me know what you think about my video in the comments. Let me know what you think about the rest of them. I did the best I could to bring out these objects so that you could see it with more clarity, and definitely tell me what you think about that large object that was between 7 and 10,000 feet off the ground, because they told me, and that was the most exciting part of the phone call, is that this thing was so big and bright. And so I took that picture that they sent me, put it on my computer, analyzing it, trying to modify it, trying to bring out the most that I could out of that big white particular craft looking object in the sky. I'm going to call it a UAP. Definitely let me know what you think. I did my best to show the 90-degree angles, and I think that one last part where the back, it kind of looks like the back to me, but I could be wrong. For all I know, we were looking at the back of something, or it could be totally something different. Either way, for me, it looked like a craft, and it was definitely a Christmas night they're not going to forget. It's definitely something I'm not going to forget. I've personally witnessed UAPs last night, at least a UAP, and my girlfriend and her daughter obviously experienced a few things last night. Definitely an exciting Christmas night for us, and again, for the Utica Rome area in its entirety. Many people reporting not only the Starlink satellite train, but immediately people started seeing things next to it. And you can go on to the WKTV Facebook page if you want, and you'll see more about it there. Another amazing one was that round object, that portal looking thing. The only thing I can really describe that to be is anomalous, obviously, but definitely it just didn't look like a craft to me. It looked more like an orb of some kind, but the colors were very intriguing. So yeah, one of those big lollipops with all the colors in there. That's what that thing reminded me of. But remember, that was in the sky, and that was pretty good size. According to her on Facebook, it was just a medium zoom. So let me know what you guys think. That was my Christmas. Other than that, I had a great Christmas, but a little stunned when I went outside. And some of it to me, I'll actually admit, was a little disturbing, because, it's around the same time that satellite train's going by. And I wasn't really expecting to see that many things happen at once here in my area, in the area that I actually reside in. So yes, definitely something we're not going to forget. If this is your first time watching, first of all, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Make sure you subscribe. I'm always putting up videos, and we're going to be going syndicated. In other words, we're going to be on other platforms after this interview that's coming soon. And you're going to be able to find us on Spotify or anywhere else you watch or listen to podcasts. You're not going to watch them, obviously, but well, you can if you're on YouTube. And yeah, definitely leave me your comments and your thoughts on our experience last night. And if you guys saw anything last night, definitely let me know. And if you're able to send me copies of anything, definitely send it to the Human Spectrum. We have 2 email addresses in the description, and just attach it to one of those and send it to us with your first name or handle and the area that the incident or whatever you caught occurred in. So if you would do that, I would appreciate it. And definitely shout you out for that, because we can always use anything that anybody captures, because it's just fascinating. So with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.